Hi everyone, I'm gonna show you today how to make a super easy Mickey Mouse topper. We're gonna start with a 75 millimeters foam ball. You can make it bigger or smaller. I'm making, I think, and the end is gonna be close to 5 inches tall. I'm gonna cut almost a little bit over the half of the ball. And be careful with your fingers. We're just gonna cut and get all the excess out. You can make this edible or no edible materials. You see the half of the ball, we cut a little bit more than the half of the ball, and you're using the bigger part, the bigger size right there. And with black, 96 grams or 3.4 ounces or everything you want. If you want to make edible, you can use gum paste. If you wanted to use cold porcelain, you can use cold porcelain. We're just going to open. If you don't find cold porcelain here, because everybody says I can't find it, Michael's, Joann's, and all those craft stores, they have air dry clay. That's exactly what it is. So I'm just using a little glue since I'm making with cold porcelain today. We're gonna let the glue set and we're gonna cover the half of the ball right there. Go gentle because less marks better for you. Just use the palms on your hands and just go put everything down. I was looking on the craft stores and I saw a bunch of different brands of air dry clay. So you guys can use that too. That's the same thing than cold porcelain is. You just don't need to go to the oven like polymer clay, for example. And it's not edible, so you can keep it forever. As gum paste, after a while, sugar, you know, you don't want to keep that forever. So we put everything down, and now with the X-Acto knife, I'm cutting off the excess. Right there. Now with the bottle, everything then was left, the excess, then we left a little bit around. We're gonna turn to the bottom of your piece. If you're not gonna place on a base, you leave a little bit more extra so you can cover everything, but a little bit more complicated for who's starting. So if you don't want to leave the base, you just can turn like I'm doing it and pull all the excess to the middle. If you don't cover anything, you just make a circle in any cookie cutter or anything and just place on the bottom. Since I'm using acrylic base normally for my toppers, I'm just gonna put it there because I want a straight flat bottom. But I'm not gonna worry too much about if it's covering or not. But if you not having a base, please try to cover everything. Now I'm just smoothing everything because I don't want any fingerprints or marks on my hands. And that's it. Now for the ears, we have two balls, 26 grams or 0.9 ounces each. We're just gonna roll. As if you watch my videos before, we always almost always starts with the ball. And we're gonna flat it on the table or between your hands. I like to be at the table because I think they look flatter. Is that a word? More flat? More flat. And I'm measuring to see if I like the size. This is all up to you. You can make big ears, little ears. Since Mickey Mouse is just ears, like Minnie has the bow and everything, but since Mickey is just the ears, I like to make them big to pop on the top of your cake. So I'm making the second one. The second one, you just be sure then it's gonna be the same size the first one because you don't want him to have weird ears. So that's easy. You just worry about to be around and you put them together and you're gonna know if they are the same or not. Right there. And now with the toothpick, I'm gonna place right there between, I have two fingers, one on the top of each other because I don't want holes in the back on the front of my ears. So you go gentle and be very careful because you don't want to go through anything. So you use your fingers to feel where you're placing your toothpick. And now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Right there. We're gonna place right there. See, I'm placing my fingers right there so I can feel what I'm doing, and I'm going around and around and around the toothpick because makes it go through easier and don't lose the shape. And now we're gonna place in the craft foam and let it dry. Now then it's a little bit dry. You don't need to dry overnight or anything. Just dry a little. I'm gonna take my toothpick off and let it dry a little bit more. I'm taking the toothpick off. That's up like the way I like to do it, because I think it's easier for me to the toothpicks to be on the topper than on the ears, because if you need to push down the ears with the toothpick, you can lose their shape. But if you have the hole already, you're just placing like a puzzle, you're not gonna lose the shape of the ears. So what I'm doing right now, marking what I want the ears to be, and I'm gonna place the toothpick right there. So then I already have the hole in the ear. I'm just gonna place there when they're a little bit drier, because I want them to be flat and standing still up there. So now we're gonna let it dry. You have the two places one you wanna put the ears, and we're gonna let it dry for a while. Like an hour is enough. So now you have it's a little bit more dry and you have the hole, and you're just gonna place there. Imagine if you're doing that to try to make the hole on the head, you can lose, the shape. And I'm using a little glue because I thought on the other side it wasn't, because I wait so it's not that wet, just to place it there. If you're using gum paste, you just use edible glue. If you're using any other material, just keep using the same material that you need. I'm just being sure that it's flat and is the position I want. And now I'm gonna give some options. You can use cookie cutters to put like letters or numbers with any cookie cutter you have, or you can just get your phone. You don't need to print anything. You get your phone or get your computer or look anything Disney, and you can copy that letter. I'm gonna show a letter G because my son's name is Derek and he was right next to me, and I said, what letter should I do? And he's like, no, mommy, make a D because it's my name and your name. So the D it is. A little backstage info. Now that matters. So now I'm copying it, looking at my phone and just copying it, the shape to place right there. That's option number 2. You can use the cookie cutters, you can make the letters with your hand, or you can just make any type of letter. It doesn't need to be a Disney letter. I was just trying to be more specific because everybody knows those fonts that Disney has. And there we go. Sorry, that's my hands there. It's just hard because I was just copying, but I'm going to show you, I promise. Right there. That's the G, as you can see on my phone. And you can just place right there. Or you can use option number 3, a number. Normally a topper is for a number, like a birthday, and normally you have a number. You can be 1, 2, or 3. So I'm making the 1. I'm just curling a little on the top, making a 1, cutting off the excess on the bottom, right there. You can just place like that if you want, but if you want to make a little cuter, you just make a little snake and you curl both sides, one up and one down, to make, the flat part under the ear 1. So it's going to look a little bit more cuter. And then you place in the 1, and then we place right there in the center. It's a very, very easy topper, then you can make it. It's a DIY. Trust me, you can make it. Little material and you're gonna love it. Thank you so much, and don't forget to watch the Minnie Mouse. Talk to you guys. Bye.